Appa, yip yip. Before we get into the video, I just want to quickly plug my latest short film, The Brothers' Failure, a mockumentary. Based on a true story, Hamza Boujelouah, a young, naive filmmaker, has an ambitious dream to bring his fantasy short film to life. Witness him and his friends embark on the journey of attempting to create the Brothers' Blade and realize his artistic vision. A lot of time, a lot of love, and a lot of passion went into it, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys gave it a watch. Click the link in the description to watch it, or go to the front page of my YouTube channel and it's right there on the homepage. I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, onto the video. So, right off the bat, I am a massive fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I loved that show. It's one of my favorite animated shows of all time. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. The story, the mythology, the characters, it's all so rich, it's all so wonderful, it's so sophisticated for a kid's cartoon. I love it. You know, of course, there's M. Night Shyamalan's Last Airbender movie, and to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate it. Like, it's not good, but also, I don't think it's nearly as bad as people claim it to be, but also, yeah, it's not a great representation of the animated series or anything, but still, it's not that bad. Yeah, there are really dumb and stupid things, like the way that film represents the bending is not good, the way they pronounce a lot of names, specifically Aang, yeah, it really does just make my insides just boil, like, Ong?
My name is Aang, and I'm the Avatar.
That's not... How? And so when the news came that Netflix is adapting Avatar: The Last Airbender into live action, I'm not gonna lie, my main reaction was just, why? Why do we need this? And that's something I've just been wrestling with a lot, which is, why do we need to readapt Avatar: The Last Airbender? Like, there is no point. Like, if I want to watch Avatar, I will just watch the animated series. I don't need to watch a live-action version to validate my feelings towards the animated series. And I don't need a live-action series to validate the story of Avatar: The Last Airbender and have the world see it as a real piece of cinema, as fantastic storytelling, because you don't. The animation holds and stands by its own. Sure, yeah, you can pose the argument, oh, let's bring it to a new audience and such, but even still, it should be the parents of said new audience to show them the animated series. Not to mention the fact that the original creators for the animated show were attached to this project, but then they left halfway through because of creative differences, and now they've gone off back to Nickelodeon to create Avatar Studios, where they're going to make their own series of animated films based on the animated series. So in many ways, it does just put into further question as to why are we adapting this live action if the original showrunners are gone. But then also the original showrunners and creators were attached to the M. Night Shyamalan film, and we all saw how that turned out, so
Leave him alone!
I don't know. And apparently the reason as to why the original creators left the Netflix production was because the showrunners of the Netflix show wanted to age up the story and make the characters a little bit more mature. They wanted to delve into love triangles and such. Like, apparently they might commit to the Zuko and Katara fanship, and I don't know. The whole behind the scenes history of it is a little bit weird, but after seeing the teaser trailer, whilst I liked it, it still didn't put to rest my feelings of, why did we need to retell this story? There's no point. Tell new and different original stories. Visually, I think it looks great, but the trailer did not do enough to quell that voice in the back of my head going, why did we need to make this again? Anyways, let's do a quick trailer reaction and break down the trailer. Okay, first off the bat, we have Sozin's Comet. Okay, I've seen the animated show. I know what that means. At least they set it up. Was that even in the M. Night Shyamalan film? I don't even remember.
The past.
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. I used to know that intro off by heart, you know, water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them. But when the world needed him most, he vanished. Something like that.
The future.
Again, visually, this looks fantastic. The scale looks insane. This looks so high budget. And I think visually, the casting of Sokka and Katara is pretty good. I think they look like the characters, especially the actor for Sokka. I can see it in his face. At least I'm hoping he's able to portray that very goofy and silly side to Sokka, which, I mean, everyone loves.
It all gets mixed up.
Again, visually, the set design is fantastic. The design of King Bumi's kingdom. Is it Ba Sing Se? No, he doesn't live in Ba Sing Se. It's the other one. Omashu, that's it. It's been a while since I've seen the show, but yeah, I do remember that. Okay, so when it comes to the cast, I think for the most part, they all look fantastic. The one exception is Zuko, and that's purely for the fact that his scar is way too small. From this angle, it doesn't look so bad, but from other set pictures and production stills, it looks really small. Like, the whole point is that Fire Lord Ozai, when he fought his son, literally got his hand and just, like, burnt it across his face, and it was just this massive handprint mark. And in the show, it looks like he's got a really bad case of pink eye. I mean, from a visual standpoint, the young actor looks good. Like, that is Zuko. It's just that the scar is really small. Now, easily my most anticipated thing for this entire series is the casting of Paul Sun-Hyung Lee as Uncle Iroh, because that is perfect casting. If you've seen Kim's Convenience, a sitcom that was cancelled way too early, him as Appa is fantastic. And when you see Appa, you literally see Uncle Iroh. That is, like, perfect, pitch perfect casting. You'll also recognize the actor from things like The Mandalorian and such. He's always that X-Wing fighter that shows up, but still, him as Uncle Iroh is pitch perfect casting, and I'm so excited to see that. Uncle Iroh is one of, if not is the best character of Avatar. It's him or Zuko, or Aang, I don't know. Those are like my personal favorites. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if season 1 of the show is really good and they do adapt all 3 seasons, and then we get to the very specific scene in season 3 between Zuko and Iroh, that will break my heart. That will be so fantastic. Even if they adapt the Tales of Ba Sing Se in a season 2, if this gets greenlit for a season 2, that will break my heart. Uncle Iroh is such a fantastic character, and I'm so excited to see this actor portray this character, because he looks perfect. Again, visually, the cast for this show looks great. Daniel Day-Kim as Fire Lord Ozai looks great. I don't know if he'll have the voice, but I mean, he does have a pretty good voice from what I've heard and stuff I've seen him in. I will say, one of the things that did blow my mind when rewatching the animated series, it wasn't my last rewatch, I think it was the rewatch before when I was like in my teens, finding out that Mark Hamill was the voice of Fire Lord Ozai just blew my brain. Like, that is Luke Skywalker. That is the Joker. I remember watching it and I was like, why does Fire Lord Ozai sound very jokery? And then I saw the credits and it said Fire Lord Ozai, Mark Hamill, and I was like, no way, that's insane. I will say that the one character design-wise that stands out to me as looking a little bit unrefined is Azula, because it's just a young girl. Like, Azula, what happened to her big iconic, you know, bun with the 2, like, strands of hair? That's Azula. But maybe this is meant to be young Azula watching the Agni Kai between Fire Lord Ozai and Prince Zuko. I don't know, that did just stand out to me a little bit. I will say, a thing that may justify the existence of the show is purely the fact that it does have the time to expand out certain things. So, we could explore more of Zuko and his father's relationship, more of Fire Lord Ozai ruling the Fire Nation, I guess. But then again, you didn't always need that in the animated series. I don't know, maybe you do need it when it comes to things like Fire Lord Ozai's relationship with his wife and his wife's relationship to Zuko. Like, maybe you need more of that being explored, but again, the animated show did such a good job at exploring this, I don't think you really need to really explore it. Again, visually, this all looks great. Suki looks great, the Kyoshi Warriors look great, the island that is in the Fire Nation, where Aang goes to the temple, where he meets Avatar Roku, it all looks like how it's supposed to look. It looks fantastic. The translation from animation to screen is fantastic. Also, the first time I saw this trailer, I was wondering who this voice was throughout the longest time, and then that little echoey reverb effect made me think that was Avatar Roku, so maybe this trailer is narrated by Avatar Roku. Okay, so the thing that this teaser trailer does is it shows us a lot of the visuals, but it doesn't really show us a lot of the substance of the show, the meat of the show. The kid that plays Aang looks the part, but I don't know if he's going to be able to play the part, because Aang in many ways is very difficult. Aang is so bubbly and optimistic and so childish, but also there is a stoicism to him at points, and I don't know if this kid's going to be able to do it. I need to see more from him.
We're not asking permission!
Like, this kid needs to be able to do the big, fun, goofy expressions like Aang going, oh, la, la, la. Like, that's an Aang thing, and this kid needs to be able to do that without also coming across as being annoying and too childish. I mean, he does have to come across as childish. That is part of Aang's nature, is that he is very light and childish.
I want you to stop wasting my time. I already know how to squat and breathe and feel the sun. I want to know how to shoot fire out of my fingertips.
But also, again, like I said, there is a stoicism to Aang. There is a badass warrior side to Aang that he may have to grow into, but in season 1, it is still there. Like, every time Aang goes into the Avatar state, in the show, you feel it. You go, oh, this is creepy. Oh, I don't know. That's kind of, you know, you feel really uneasy because you're like, is this kid gonna, like, kill everyone? What the hell? And I need to see if this young actor can portray it, because again, from a visual standpoint, he looks the part, but is he going to play the part? And for the most part, the rest of the teaser trailer is just iconography from the show. We see the Agni Kai between Fire Lord Ozai and Prince Zuko. We see Appa, and he looks great. I mean, Appa also looked great in the Last Airbender live action film, so I wasn't expecting Appa to look, you know, horrific or anything. We see Momo, they play the theme from the animated series, and I'm not gonna lie, When they played the theme, whilst I was happy to hear it, I was also just like, are they just using this to pull on my nostalgia strings to make me feel all smitten and nostalgic and go, oh, I can't wait to watch this. This is going to be great. Maybe that's the cynic in me. I don't know. It's just that I've seen this song and dance before. They'll play a piece of music that I recognize and I'm all like, oh, I can't wait to see this. I'm so hyped. Also, we got a release date, which is February 22nd of 2024, which is way sooner than I was expecting, I'm not gonna lie. But overall, I don't know how I feel about this live action adaptation. I think visually it looks fantastic, but there's still that nagging voice in the back of my brain going, do we need this? Does this show justify its existence? I am looking forward to it and I will watch it. I just hope that it's good. And if it's good and it makes me keep watching, then I'll be over the moon. I'll be like, great, there's a great live action adaptation. But also, still that voice in the back of my head going, do we even need this? And I do just need to watch the show to see if it justifies its existence. The production design is great. It feels big, it feels epic, but it also feels tangible. It also feels very filmic. It looks very cinematic. This looks so much better than things like the Rings of Power or the Wheel of Time. There's like actual halation. There's like actual halation in the highlights. It looks very filmic. It looks very cinematic. This does look visually very great. But is it gonna be good? That is the question. But those are just my quick thoughts on the teaser trailer for Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender. What did you guys think? Are you guys impressed? Are you not so impressed? Are you looking forward to the series? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, follow on social media, all that good stuff. And until we meet again, I'll see you guys next time.